what is the first thing you could do, the first step, right now, to make your future life perfect in every way? And whatever it is, just take the first step. How important you feel you are largely determines the quality of your life. How important you feel you are, how important and valuable you feel you are as a person, largely determines the quality of your life. It determines how you think about yourself and how you feel. It determines how you treat other people. And the interesting thing is how you treat other people determines how they treat you. It determines your goals you set and how persistent you are in achieving those goals. It determines the amount you discipline yourself, how hard you work. Everything is determined by how important and valuable you feel you are. Now, psychologists call this your level of self-esteem. And your level of self-esteem is like the reactor core of a nuclear generator. It's the power source of your personality. People who have positive personalities have high self-esteem. People who have weak personalities have low self-esteem. And the wonderful thing, as Ed was saying, you can raise your self-esteem by the way you talk to yourself, by the people you associate with, the way you talk to yourself. And so when you say the words, I like myself, your self-esteem goes up. But even if you just listen to someone else saying, I like myself, your self-esteem goes up. You just like, you feel good. It's the three most positive words in any language. Do you know that 85% of our success or lack of success, happiness or unhappiness in life will be determined by our relationships with other people? 85%. Only 15% is determined on other factors. The other 85% is our relationships. The biggest problems we have in life always come with hair on top. Have you noticed that? But the more you like yourself, the more you like other people. The more you like other people, the more they like you right back. And the more they like you right back, the more they want to use you and come to you, your practice, and to recommend you to others. What is the number one key to getting referrals? Do you know what it is? Are you ready? It's a toughie. It's be referable. Be referable. How do you be referable? Be a nice person. Do you know what the number one word used to describe people to whom we refer others to? That he or she is a nice person. They are really nice people. They are really nice people. You know what nice people means? High self-esteem. You walk into a dental practice where the people are grumpy and say, sit down there and we'll call you when you're ready. You know, all right, it's your turn. What's your name? Tracy? No. Tracy? All right, whatever. Get in here. All right. And then the other looks at your teeth and says, oh my God, what a terrible job. Whoever's been working on your teeth before, I mean, you should have come here years ago. It may be too late. And then you go into another practice and everybody's cheerful and they recognize you and they say, hi, how are you doing? Please sit down. We'll call you in a minute. If there's a delay, they say, I'm sorry, there's a bit of a delay. Can you hang on? Can we get you a glass of water or something? And you sit there and you feel special. So what is the key to building a successful practice? Of course, you must have the technical knowledge, but the key is make patients feel important. Make patients feel important. From the time they come in, make them feel important. And make them feel valuable, raise their self-esteem. And you know what the fastest way to make a person feel important is when they walk into your practice? Smile at them and say, hi, how are you? Thank you for coming. Nice to see you today. How's everything going? So the first impression is like a wave of warmth, and their self-esteem goes up and they feel valuable and important. And the last thing you do is you say, thank you for coming. We sure enjoy having you. Look forward to seeing you again. And if it could be of any service to you, please give us a call. And if something comes up, let us know. So the last impression makes them feel important. And in between, treat them like they're the most valuable people in the world. And I promise you, you'll have to turn your phone off to keep people from calling to make appointments, because once you make people feel important, their friends will all want to send people to you. Your level of self-esteem or self-worth, your sense of personal value, the amount that you like yourself and respect yourself, determines the entire quality of your life. It determines the goals you set and how big they are. It determines how much you believe in yourself, which is how much you persist in your goals. It determines what you learn. It determines how much you like other people, how much they like you back. So the psychology of achievement is based around this concept that the more you do the things that make you feel good about yourself, which is setting goals, working toward them, treating people well, learning, taking good care of yourself, all the positive things that you do, raise your self-esteem, improve your self-image, improve the quality of your relationships with other people, and enable you to have a wonderful life. And that just set me off. The biggest problem that people have is that where they should use slow thinking, they use fast thinking. And entrepreneurs are extremely guilty of that. Is we make important decisions that have long potential consequences, including affecting the lives of people and costing money and even leading to the bankruptcy of a business. We make those decisions with fast thinking when in reality we should be making them with slow thinking. Now,
I'm a great Drucker fan, as many people are, and Mike was saying something about hiring the right people, and hiring the right people to work with you is very important. And the biggest mistakes you make is hiring fast. You hire people quickly. The best decisions you make are where you really take your time to hire slowly. And Peter Drucker said that fast people decisions are invariably wrong people decisions. Hiring an important person for an important job has tremendous potential consequences. So therefore, you need to take a long time.
I say start off, write down 1-year goals. If you have more confidence, you can write down 5 and 10-year goals. But I have never written a goal that I didn't achieve. And I've gone from literally from rags to riches, from being broke to being worth an enormous amount of money. And it was exactly what I wrote down. the car, the home, the family, the business. Everything I wrote down eventually came true. And everybody I speak to says, it all comes true eventually. What I do is I rewrite my goals every morning. I carry a spiral notebook. I have stacks now over the years. And every morning I get up, when I do a little bit of reading, I exercise, and then I'll open my book and I'll write down the goals. Now here's the key. Do not refer to the previous day. What you do is you turn it over and you rewrite your goals again today. Now here's what will happen. When you first write down 10 goals, they will be the first things that occur to you. The next day, when you write them down without reference, you will change the order. You may actually drop off one or add something else. The wording will change in the goals, which is very important because your subconscious mind is activated by the precision of the words that you use. And so you'll find yourself writing the goals differently and in different order and sequence. And at a certain point, you'll find yourself every morning writing the same 10 goals like that. And then, one by one, they'll start to be achieved and replaced by a new goal. And a year from now, it's almost like if you decided to exercise and lose weight a little bit each day, a year from now, you could be as fit as an Olympic athlete. A year from now, you will have accomplished so much, it will be astonishing to you. You know, and people say, well, it sounds really good, big American motivational speaker and so on. They say, but what if it doesn't work? I say, no, that's the wrong question. What if it does work? All it costs is a spiral notebook, a pen, and a few minutes a day, maybe 5 minutes. What if it could transform your life, as it has done for millions of other people, with no exceptions, in 56 countries where I've spoken? So if it works for everybody, everywhere in the world, it'll probably work for you. All it takes is 5 minutes a day. And it's really a test of how much you really want those goals, is do you have the discipline to rewrite them every day? If you will do that, that front loads the entire success process. You know, the very act of writing goals raises your self-esteem, it improves your self-image, it increases your self-confidence, and it activates your creative mind. You start to see all kinds of ideas and ways to achieve the goals that you've written. It's so powerful, it's literally life-changing, that one technique.
It's the actions that you take as a result. And Ed mentioned that earlier this morning. It's what you do, and it's not just what you do, it's when you do it, and the time that you do it is immediately. Because we found that there's a direct relationship between how quickly you take action on a new idea and how likely it is you'll ever take action on any idea at all. If you take action immediately, then you'll get the results, you'll get feedback, you'll be able to self-correct. But if you put time off and put it off, then what will happen is all the energy will drain from it. How many people here would like to double their income in the next year or two? Yes. Good. Eminently possible because of the number of new patients that are coming onto the market. But how many times, what is the average number of times that a person tries on a new goal before they give up? Can you guess? The average number of times a person tries. The average is less than 1. Because most people quit before they try the first time. What they do is they say, I want to do that, I want to double my income, and I want to install that internet marketing program, and I want to do this, and I want to come up to gold level, I'm going to do all these things, but before I do, I'm really tired and I need to take a break to a wonderful place called Someday Isle. And so they go to Someday Isle, and they go to Someday Isle in their mind, like remembering your last, vacation in the Caribbean or wherever it was, Someday Isle.
And then here's the key. This is the key. Take the first step. The first step is always the hardest step because it forces you, like a chick breaking out of an egg when it hatches, the first step forces you to break out of your comfort zone. And the comfort zone is so strong that probably 90% of people are held back from their full potential all their life because of this vice-like comfort zone. And when you take the first step, the only way you can do it is break out. And suddenly you see the second step and the third step and the fourth step. And then as you take the steps, your self-esteem goes up and your self-confidence goes up and you become more creative and you start to think of all kinds of ideas, and people say, what has gotten into you? I mean, what are you smoking? Because whatever it is, you should share it with the others. And so this is the difference between top people, is they have a big idea of what's possible and they take the first step. The law of three says that no matter how many things you do, how many tasks you do in a week or a month, and it's usually 20 or 30, 3 of those tasks account for 90% of your value. Only 3. And you make a list of all of your tasks, and I do this with my business owners, and I have them go through this, and they're astonished. And they double their income within 30 days. Because I ask them the 3 magic questions. Magic question number 1. If you could only do one thing on this list, one task on this list, all day long, which one task would have the greatest positive impact on your career? Which one task? Well, it'll usually pop. It'll jump out at you. So you put a circle around it. Then you say, if you could only do 2 things all day long, which would be number 2? And you put a circle around that. If you could only do 3 things all day long, which would be number 3? Put a circle around that. And suddenly it's almost like all these other tasks fade. Like in a camera shoot, in a movie, they fade, and those 3 tasks are sitting there, like those 3 magic tasks, and you realize, oh my God, those are my big 3. Everything else is secondary. Everything else can be done by someone else, or done later, or not done at all. And then you focus on the 3. So here's the rule for doubling your income, and doubling it again, and doubling it again. Do fewer things, but do more important things, and do them more often, and get better at them. Do only A tasks. Do not do B tasks at all. If you will do only A tasks, the tasks that move you toward what you say you want, only those tasks, and then you do the tasks that move you the fastest toward what you want, your most important tasks, you will have a wonderful life. But most people, 80% or more of people, spend their entire days on B tasks. Tasks that are fun, small, irrelevant, useless, make no contribution to their careers, and they don't understand why 10 years have gone by and their income has gone up at the rate of inflation. Whereas the people who've been working on A tasks, their income goes up and up and up. People eagerly pay them more money because they are so valuable to the company.
The more words you know, the better you can think, because you have more tools to think with. You can think with greater subtlety. You can analyze things better. You can make better decisions. So as you learn more words, you actually become smarter. And every brain cell, as you know, is connected to 22,000 other brain cells. So as you learn more words, you connect those with other words, which enable you to see things, to sense things, develops your intuition to a higher level, and it makes you more successful. Now, why do I tell you all this? I'm sure you're fascinated by semantics. It's because when you come to this conference, what you do is you learn concepts. You learn words and concepts and ideas that you may not have thought about before, that open your eyes, like turning on the lights, which we did. They turn on the lights, which enable you to see ways to build your practice that you've never seen before. And the people who build their practices the faster are the ones who learn the most words or learn the most concepts and ideas.
But here's the point. All business skills are learnable. All business skills are learnable. That means you can learn any business skill. And the point is, you must never allow yourself to be held back in your career, to be trapped in the room with the doors all ready to be opened with the keys and the locks. You must never allow yourself to be trapped because you lack a business skill. And many people, give you a very simple example, delegation. The ability to delegate intelligently and well to the right person in the right way, the right job, and make sure it's done, is an absolutely essential executive skill. If you do not have it, you cannot survive or succeed as an executive. You must be replaced or carefully supervised because you will never get results through other people, the definition of management. But delegation is a learnable skill, and every successful executive is excellent at delegating. They're excellent at selecting the right people, working with them to get clarity about the right job and what needs to be done, making sure that they have everything that they need, and then backing away and letting them do it. Because if you can't delegate a task, you must do it all yourself. And a lot of managers say, well, if you want it done right, you have to do it yourself. No, if you want it done right, you have to delegate it well to someone else and make sure that they do it. So it's just that one skill, and there's a series of management skills, can transform your entire career. I have had senior vice presidents working for me that I've had to fire because they could not delegate. Every single time they handed out a task, it fell on its face. Another task is planning. They could not plan. They were disorganized all the time. Another task is measuring. They could not set measures or standards so that nobody knew what target they were aiming at. So people were always at each other's throats because there were no standards. I mean, these are little things. You think, well, of course, those are absolutely essential. And they're all skills, and they're all learnable. And that's the great breakthrough. You can learn any skill you need to develop the winning edge in any field that you're in.
Successful companies have great leadership. And leadership is the ability to get results. But it's also the ability to allocate resources, which means it's the ability to make decisions and to make hard decisions. Because if it were easy decisions, everybody would be a leader and everybody would be rich. So making decisions using thinking, slow thinking, using long-term thinking, is the critical job of the leader. Drucker says, the first job of the leader is to ask what results are expected of me. And then I add to that, of all the results that are expected of you as a leader, what is the most important result that you need to get to achieve the sales and profitability for which you are responsible? One of the rules what we learn in business, we never complain about anybody or anything in our business.
Top people, and the research that's coming out now since the last time we were together, shows that the best people in every field, the ones that go from the bottom to the top in their careers, are people who engage in a concept called deliberate practice. Now, this is a breakthrough concept. It's like quality circles. It's a whole new concept in business. Deliberate practice means that, like a sniper, they select the one skill that today can help them the most to be the most productive, to make the greatest contribution where they are right now. And they ask around, if I was really good at one skill, you know, the magic wand concept, if I was really good at one skill right now, which one skill would help me the most at this stage of my career? And your boss can tell you, your coworkers can tell you, your staff can tell you, but you've got to know, because this is the key. It's almost like you're trapped in a room, there's one door out. The one door is the most important skill that you can learn. If you learn all the other skills, you go out through all the other doors, nothing will improve for you. But if you get really good in this one skill today, it can really help you. Sometimes it's understanding financial statements. Sometimes it's negotiating. Sometimes it's being really excellent in meeting management. Sometimes it's good at public speaking. Sometimes, you never know what it is, but people around you know what it is. And in your heart, you know what it is.
So basically, you create your own life with your own thinking. Now, this is one of the hardest things for people to understand, is that their entire outer world is merely a mirror. It reflects back to them in absolute, complete accuracy what there is going on inside. Now, much of what is going on inside is conscious, some of it is unconscious, but basically it's the way we think and see ourselves and feel about ourselves on the inside that determines our external world. And if you want to change anything on the outside, you have to change things on the inside. Now, my favorite equation is this: 1-to-1 is what's going on the inside determine what's going on the outside. Now, imagine a person looks in the mirror and they don't like the way their makeup is put on, or they don't like the look of their face, and they don't like that, and they start to pound the mirror. Pound the mirror. They go and get a hammer. I got to pound this mirror. You'd say you must be crazy. The mirror is neutral. The mirror just reflects back to you what you're presenting to it. So if you want to change what is being reflected back, you have to change what you present to the mirror. Once you understand that, by the way, you move into the top 10 or 20% of thinkers in the world. The most important quality for leadership is responsibility, is to accept responsibility and say, I am where I am and what I am because of myself. It ain't my brother, ain't my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Which brings us to the greatest discovery of all, which is that you become what you think about most of the time. You become what you think about most of the time. So what do you think about most of the time?